It's been a while since the last time I sat down and filmed a beauty video and just chatted about makeup. So grab your matcha tea, water, whatever you drink, because it's gonna be a long video.
One step forward, two steps backwards, yeah. And much your lover who don't use.
Hello you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm really excited to finally be sitting down and filming my best of beauty favorites. I am well aware that I went on a little mini hiatus last year with beauty content. I feel like one of my biggest announcements last year was that I'm pregnant. I ended the year pregnant and I'm starting the year still pregnant. I am expected to give birth on February the 14th. So I am stockpiling a little bit of content just so that way I don't go completely MIA when baby boy decides to get here. But for today's video, we're gonna be talking all things makeup, skincare, and hair care. These products are the cream of the crop, top of the top products that I fell in love with last year, products that I really just couldn't do my makeup without. So I hope you guys really enjoyed today's video. Like it, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that. I mean, it's 2022. Should we still be reminding people to subscribe? I don't know, but go ahead and click that button, give it a big old like. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started because I have a lot of stuff to get through. So let's get into it. I do want to jump into my favorite eyeshadow palettes for 2021. First and foremost is the Patrick Ta 4 Eyes eyeshadow palette. When I tell you this is a palette I simply could not put down when I got it last year. I love Patrick Ta's formula. I feel like his eyeshadows are creamy and buttery. They're pigmented, but they're not too pigmented to the point where they're really difficult to blend out. This is such a great neutral tone eyeshadow palette. If you're a beginner in makeup and you want to dabble into some creams, some powders, and also some shimmers, I feel like you get all of that within this eyeshadow palette. In typical Patrick Ta fashion, he did include 2 cream eyeshadows here. So you have a light brown and a dark brown. I haven't dipped into light brown too much. I really love the dark brown. I feel like this is great to put all over your eyes and do more of a smoky eye, or you can actually use this to mimic liner and set it over top with some of the matte eyeshadows he has here. That is the way I love to use this eyeshadow palette. He also has some gorgeous shimmer formulas here. He has a mixture between some foiled eyeshadows that just melt into the skin. They're so buttery and dreamy. They don't look chunky or heavy on the eyelid whatsoever. This palette is a pretty penny, but I think it is well worth the money. I do have a code with Patrick Ta, by the way, not sponsored whatsoever. If you guys are interested in picking this up on a discount, you can use my code AMarie15 at checkout. Let's talk about 2 eyeshadow palettes that are still in the neutral family, but they're 2 completely different formulas. They're both by Makeup by Mario. Let me tell you, Makeup by Mario really hit it out of the park last year. There was not a single launch that I hated. Every single launch, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I need it like yesterday. So let's talk about these eyeshadow palettes. This is the 4 Matte eyeshadow palette. Actually, I lied. It's the Master Matte eyeshadow palette, and it comes with so many beautiful matte eyeshadows. Like this black, iconic, I swear I use it whenever I do my eyeliner to set it down and in place. This brown here, I use it on my brows today. I always use this one here as a transitional color. I also use this when I went to Houston for my maternity photos. This is just a staple palette that I take everywhere with me because, I mean, you can create a daytime look, a nighttime look, a smoked out look. You can create so many different looks with an all matte formula. And let me tell you, I feel like it's really hard to nail down a good matte formula. They're not chalky, they're very buttery, they're blendable, they don't get patchy, anything like that. So this is definitely a must. I love it. I feel like for every single Sephora sale last year, this was a palette that I highly recommended to everyone. So this next eyeshadow palette favorite is more of like an eyeshadow topper palette. And for a long time, I really didn't see value in palettes like these until I started to use them more on a consistent basis. So this here is the Master Metallics eyeshadow palette by Makeup by Mario. Again, this is a palette that I would typically pair with another palette, whether it's the Master Mattes, if it's the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. I do use this in conjunction with something else because I'm not a big fan of like shimmer all over the lid. I have to pair it with some kind of mattes, but the metallic formula in this palette is real, and for the price point, I feel like you're really getting a bang for your buck. It's almost like getting 3, 6, 9, 12 cream eyeshadows all in one palette, because that's how creamy and buttery they are on the lid. Like when you put these on the lid, they mimic like the prettiest wet cream foiled eyeshadow you have ever seen. It's not chunky, it just melts right into the skin. Let me actually swatch a couple of these on the back of my hand so you can see what I'm talking about. Like, this is what the formula looks like. It is so pretty, and it's not a formula where you can just like blow and you see like little particles fly off your hand. Like, they melt into the skin and they're so pretty. So this next eyeshadow palette favorite is one that I don't really hear many people talk about, and I have no idea why, because the formula is incredible. And I'm talking about the formula in the Nudie No. 2 eyeshadow palette by Laura Lee Los Angeles. I have the original Nudie Patootie eyeshadow palette, but this one is by far my favorite. I love how small it is, for one. I also love these foiled eyeshadows here and here. These are the two that I have all over my lid. The mattes, creamy, buttery, they blend out like a dream, but the metallics almost make me feel like I'm working with like a cream to powder formula. They are really good. I'm gonna swatch them on the back of my hand so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Like, look at that formula. Incredible, and again, 10 out of 10. So I did have a couple of mascara favorites, and I'm actually really sad because one of my go-to mascara duos was from Marc Jacobs, and Marc Jacobs Beauty is actually being discontinued, but I still wanted to show it in this video because I didn't want to just substitute a different mascara when in fact I was wearing this one for the majority of last year. This is the black mascara, and then also the mascara primer by Marc Jacobs. I fell in love with this formula, and I'm so sad that it's being discontinued. I'll definitely have to find a backup for this little duo here. Now, call me extra, call me what you want, but I also have a favorite bottom lash mascara, and we all have that one mascara that we always go back to no matter what. And for me, that is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. I love this mascara so much, especially for my bottom lashes. The wand here, it's so slim, you guys. So you're not taking like a really big wand and trying to coat your bottom lashes with it. It's so slim, so chic, just so tiny. It really spreads out each and every single lash. And I also like to use this to blend my lashes in with falsies when I do decide to wear them. So I'll just take a little bit, and let me just demonstrate. I just kind of go like this, and then I'll just blend the two lashes together because I don't like to take mascara all the way up on my falsies because it can tend to make them look a little fake. So if you're looking for a cream eyeshadow formula that doesn't smudge, budge, or crease throughout the day, then look no further because these here by Bobbi Brown are incredible. These are the Longwear Cream Shadow Sticks. I have 2 shades. These are the matte formulas, but I also have the shimmer formulas, which are just equally as good. But I wanted to really highlight these 2 shades because these are 2 shades that I've really been reaching for. This one here is Taupe, and is that not the prettiest taupey brown you have ever seen? And then I also have Nude Beach, which is such a pretty mauve color. These are so incredibly creamy, and they blend out very nicely. I don't have an issue blending these out, and once they set, they don't move throughout the day. I could wear them on their own, or I could wear them as like a really pretty eyeshadow base. I'm telling you, once I become like a full-blown mom, I'm going to really take advantage of cream formulas because they're so easy to smudge out all over the lid. Tap on like a little bit of shimmer and you're good to go. These don't move, nothing. I think you guys are really gonna love them. So I don't know if it's just me, but I actually find it quite difficult to come across really good liquid eyeliners. And last year, I nailed it. Like, I found the perfect black liquid eyeliner for me personally. Before, I really used to be into brush tip applicators, but this one here is a felt tip applicator, and it's by Milk Makeup. I found this about a month ago, and I've been obsessed with it ever since. This is a Milk Makeup Kush liquid eyeliner. When I tell you this does not smudge, it does not budge, it stays in place, it doesn't crack, it doesn't do anything like that. It's high-key, low-key, borderline difficult to get off at the end of the night, which could be a pro and a con. But for me, it's definitely a pro because I live in Florida. It's hot, it's humid. Sometimes I get like watery eye syndrome, which is like a made up syndrome for like my eyes watering. So it breaks up my eyeliner. But with this, like if my eyes just so happen to water, this does not break up with water. So You guys have to check out this black eyeliner. It's been my holy grail. I'm not gonna stop using it and I'm not gonna stop buying it because it's really that great. So I am well aware that there's some people in this world who just aren't as high maintenance when it comes to their liquid eyeliner. So I do want to mention this one because the color is unreal. Anytime you guys saw me wearing like a brown eyeliner, it was this one here by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Feline Flick in the shade Super Brown. I am going to swatch it because I want you guys to really see the color. It's such a gorgeous true brown. It's not too cool. It's not too warm. It's the perfect shade of brown. And again, brown eyeliner is just so pretty on the eyes. It kind of gives you that soft glam, cool girl look. Like I tried, but I really didn't try all that hard. Incredible. Now, if you struggle with applying false lashes by any means, you guys have to check out this eyeliner here. It's a 2-in-1 product, so it acts as a black liquid eyeliner, but it's also an adhesive. So you could use this to very well create your wing. It's tacky, so you just take your lashes, stick them directly on top, and they are glued on. I could not do my makeup without this. I'm telling you, it made applying false lashes a breeze all of 2021. She really killed it, hit it out of the park. They also offer it in clear, but I've really been loving the black one. And then another product from Birdie Lashes that I fell in love with are these lashes here in the style Gemini. This definitely is my favorite lash that she offers. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. If you guys were curious, I feel like her lashes are very great quality. You can wear them up to 25 times, maybe even more depending on how well you take care of them. So definitely check out her brand. I do have a coupon code with them. I can't remember at the top of my head, but I'll have it here if you guys want to check them out. I do also have another favorite pair of false lashes from the drugstore. They are by the brand Salon Perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have any more in my collection because I completely used them all up last year. I used my last pair on my maternity photo shoot in Houston, and I went to Walmart to go pick up an extra few pairs, but they were completely sold out. The style that I love, I'm gonna list right here. They're in the style 692. Definitely check them out. They're like that fit and flare look, and they're so pretty and affordable. Now, believe it or not, I did take a step back from loose powders in 2021. Granted, I use them here and there, but I really nailed down like my base routine, and I fell in love with highlight and contour palettes again. And one that is very much loved in my collection is this one right here by MAC Cosmetics. This is the MAC Studio Fix Sculpt and Shape Contour Palette. This is such an oldie but a goodie, and I highly recommend that you guys get your hands on this. It comes with these 3 highlight shades and 3 contour shades. Now, I love this peach shade underneath my eyes. It adds such a pretty life to my face that I never knew existed. I would always use banana, but I recently started using the peach, and I love the way it looks. I kid you not, these powders are so fine underneath the eyes. They're almost like non-existent. Like, it adds a little bit of color, but it doesn't look heavy or anything like that. I love the way it looks. I have this on right now. It's exactly what I use to set my concealer. And then I also use the contour powders to add a little bit of warmth and to chisel out my face a little bit. This is definitely a staple. You can tell it's very much loved. So definitely check it out. I will have a direct link to shop this down below in the description. Also, I filmed a video in partnership with MAC Cosmetics last month. I really recommend that you guys check out that video. I used some staples from their line. It is such a beautiful, like, shimmery, sparkly look that I think you guys are gonna be obsessed with. So I will also have that listed right up here in the card, so that way you guys can watch that video after you watch this video. So my pressed powder favorite probably is gonna come as no surprise because it is the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder by Charlotte Tilbury. This one here is in the shade 2. I went through maybe 2 or 3 of these last year. This is a pretty expensive powder, but I can justify it because it just works for my skin. As you guys know, whenever I'm wearing, like, let's say a dewy foundation, I can't get away with not setting it because I live in Florida. Like, if I don't set my makeup, I'll just look like an oil slick at the end of the day. So I have to set it with something, and I love setting it with something like this because it's so fine on the skin that it really doesn't take away from the actual foundation. Like, it sets everything in place, but it almost sets it with like an airbrush veil on the skin. It's so wild. I definitely recommend checking this out. I have the shade 2. I also have the shade 1, just depending on how I'm feeling. But another powder that is definitely worth this splurge is the Kosas Cloud Set Powder. I recommend this to any and everyone. This one here is in the shade Cushiony. This is almost an undetectable powder. Like if you still want that radiant dewy finish to your foundation, but you need to set it, this is the powder that I recommend doing it with because it is almost undetectable. It's so pretty. Like, I kid you not, like I have some on my hand, but then like blending it on the back of my hand, it's like, what? Where'd it go? And I know that kind of defeats the purpose of powder, but sometimes powders can be heavy and they can kind of cake up when applied over top of a foundation, but that does not happen with this. It really is a unique formula that I definitely recommend you guys experience for yourself. In the very beginning of the year, a staple product for me personally was the Brow Freeze by Anastasia. I feel like this was hyped up all over the internet for very good reasons. You can see I put a pretty big dent in it, but this works incredible if you have the curliest of brows or the straightest of brows and you want to really get your brow hairs to stand straight up. This doesn't get overly hard, but if you apply a little bit too much, I do find that it does kind of flake up a little bit. So you have to use just the right amount. And then if you get any overspill like on your skin, just use a makeup wipe to clean it up. Otherwise, when you put on your foundation, it can look a little funky, but this is probably the best product to really get that laminated, like stand-up hairs, boy brow look. Another product that I use a ton, especially in conjunction with the Anastasia Brow Freeze, is the NYX Cosmetics Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in the shade Espresso. You guys, this gives you the prettiest fine hair-like strokes. I'm gonna do a couple of swatches on the back of my hand, but you'll definitely see the lines are very, very faint. They're not overpowering. They're not too dark. They really just mimic the appearance of brow hair. So I would apply a little bit of this after applying the Brow Freeze, and my brows, they were money, honey. My #1 primer for 2021 definitely has to go to the Milk Hydro Grip Face Primer. When I tell you I used so much of this last year, like I'm completely out. I recently just restocked it, so I have a brand new one right here. But this is such a staple in my collection. I feel like anytime I talk about this product here, I always compare it to like glue for your face. Like it's sticky, it's tacky. Whatever you put on top of it is really going to stick and adhere to it and stay on your face for a long period of time. And anytime I do my makeup, that's exactly what I'm going for because I live in Florida. It's hot, it's humid. Sometimes my makeup will slip and slide if I'm not using the correct products to really prime. This game changer, very much comparable to the Jelly Pop Primer by e.l.f. And I do know e.l.f. just recently launched a brand new primer that looks even more similar to this right here. So you can check this or the e.l.f. products out. Now that we got primer out of the way, I do want to highlight some base products that I absolutely loved all throughout 2021, one of which is this one right here by Fenty. This is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drop Blurring Skin Tint. I am in the shade #8. Now this probably is my favorite skin tint of 2021, and I know that is a big claim, but I love that it provides me with coverage to the point where it kind of covers everything that I want to be covered up, but it still looks like my skin while also blurring out all of my imperfections, like enlarged pores and things like that. I use this all throughout the summer months, like when I want it to run out, but I wanted coverage, but I still wanted my skin to look like skin. This was my go-to. This is what the applicator looks like. I just kind of squeeze it out all over my face, blend it in, and I am good to go. The shade range on this is pretty sick as well. They came out with more than 12 shades, which is incredible for a skin tint. So Fenty, you know, they're always doing their things whenever it comes to their complexion products, and they really didn't disappoint with this one. And then I have this one right here by NYX. This is the Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. This really took me for a surprise. I remember trying it in a video, and it was just kind of like, okay, I guess I really wasn't paying too much attention to it. But on a whim, I started trying out some affordable products in my affordable foundation drawer, and I came across this again. I put it on and I was so impressed with the way that my makeup looked at the end of the day. Like my skin looked so incredibly radiant and glowy and dewy, but not overly oily. I will say, because I live in a very hot and humid climate. I do have to really powder down when I wear this, otherwise I can look like an oil slick. But the finish of this is so incredibly beautiful on the skin. It doesn't look heavy or anything like that. If you do have very oily skin, I would probably use more of a mattifying primer when using this. But nonetheless, if you have dry skin and you're looking for a really good radiant foundation that's affordably priced, I highly recommend checking this one out by NYX. All right, so now we're getting into the high-end foundations. And one that I really couldn't get enough of is a stick foundation by Huda. This is Huda's stick foundation in the shade Toasted Coconut. This is actually a brand new one because I completely ran out of my other one last year. This is such a great stick formula. I don't know what it is, but I really love that very naturally radiant look on my skin. Sometimes I feel like when I gravitate towards products that are overly matte, it can make my skin look really, really dry, and that's not what I'm into. I'm into coverage, but I still want my skin to look like skin, and this really gives me just that. In fact, this is a product that I'm wearing all over my face today. And I'm obsessed with the coverage. I'm obsessed with what it looks like on my skin. Like, my skin looks good. It's covered, but it doesn't look heavy or cakey. So for all my gals and guys who weren't really impressed by my radiant, dewy, and glowy foundation favorites, I think you are gonna be really impressed with this next favorite because it's not dewy, glowy, or radiant. And I'm talking about the Lancome Tidal Ultra Wear Long Wearing Foundation. You guys, I rediscovered this foundation and I'm so glad that I did. It's definitely an oldie but a goodie. It's a product that I knew and I loved in the past, but as you guys know, as new products constantly come out, you kind of forget about old things. But I came across this again, I tried it out, and I cannot believe I stopped using it because this is the foundation that I use in the thick of summer. Like when it's hot, it's humid, it's muggy. This is a product I like to use to give me coverage, and it is a product that I like to use when I want my makeup to stay on because it is a long wearing, transfer resistant formula. It is so good. One thing I do want you guys to keep in mind though is that I do find that it does oxidize about 1 to 2 shades. So definitely keep that in mind when you are searching for your perfect shade. I'm telling you, if you live in Florida, you want something long wearing, but you don't want to look like you're suffocating, check this out. This wouldn't be a video of mine if I didn't mention my Dynamic Concealer Duo by e.l.f. Cosmetics. I'm talking about the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo and the original camo. I cannot tell you how much I used this combo last year because it really is that good. Now for me personally, I feel like as I get older, I'm trying to like steer clear of under eye products that are a little bit too drying underneath my eyes. And the original camo is just too drying underneath my eyes, but I can't lie that I'm obsessed with the coverage that this gives me. So I've been mixing in a little bit of the hydrating into the original formula to really get this in-between formula that's hydrating but still provides me with enough coverage. These are about $6 each. I definitely recommend picking up either one of the two or even both to get like a power concealer combo because I was so obsessed with this all of last year. Surprisingly enough, I did come across a cream bronzer formula that I absolutely love, which is very surprising because I feel like I've been writing on my Fenty Matchstick and Mocha for years and years and years at this point. But I did try out the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer and I actually really love this formula. I love that it is more of like a sheer to buildable formula. So upon application, it is pretty sheer, but you can take more of a kabuki brush like this, which is exactly how I like to apply it. I just kind of swirl my brush in here and then I'll just tap and really build up this intensity. You'll see that it is a very buildable formula that looks really pretty on the skin, but once it sets and it really just doesn't go anywhere. Again, I am in the shade Honey Drip if you guys are interested in this shade, but they do offer other shades on their website, so it's worth checking out. So my blush favorite for 2021 definitely has to go to Patrick Ta Beauty. These here are the Double Take Cream and Powder blushes. I have 2 shades here, but recently I picked up the holiday palette, which includes 3 more shades, but I'm only gonna highlight these because these are not holiday and they're not limited edition. So I have She's So LA and I have Do We Know Her. What I love most about this formula is just like the overall concept. So pretty much you take the powder, put it on your cheeks, and then you set it with cream directly over top, and it gives you the prettiest luminous glow to your cheeks to the point where I tell you, you don't even really need to apply highlighter. I feel like Patrick Ta really thought this out. He hit it out of the park. It comes with like a little protective slip here, so that way the cream doesn't get all dusty. I also have this one here in Shiso LA, which is a color that I was obsessed with for so long. Same concept, powder and cream, looks incredible on the face. You guys have to try out this formula and this concept. Even if you don't want to use the cream, you can just use the powder, or you can just use the cream, or you can use the cream and the powder if you want more intense pigment. So highly recommend these. So liquid highlighter was really a big thing for me last year, and I fell in love with this right here by Rare Beauty. This is their liquid luminizer in the shade Mesmerize. It is more of like a rose gold shade, but they offer other shades on their website if this isn't your cup of tea. But the way I like to apply this is right after face primer. I will take this on the highest points of my cheeks, blend it out with a damp sponge, and I'll apply a skin tint directly over top. When I tell you, this shines through unlike anything I have ever seen, and it looks so pretty and natural on the skin. I don't put this over top because I find that it could be a little bit too much. So I do put it directly underneath the skin tint, and it looks so beautiful. I'm going to swatch it for you guys so that way you can see exactly what it looks like. This is what it looks like on the back of my hand. It's so pretty, it's so foiled, but when you blend it out, it looks so wet on the skin. Very fine pearls, nothing chunky or glittery. And I find that's why I really like it. Look at that. Obsessed. Now, you know I love a highlighter when I hit pan on a highlighter. This here is a powder highlighter that I'm high-key obsessed with. This is the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer in the shade 003. I've definitely hit pan on this. This is such a beautiful highlighter that melts into the skin. It's not chunky, it's not powdery. Again, it definitely melts into the skin, and it still looks like skin when you buff and blend it out. So this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. It's juicy, it's glossy, it's wet, it's everything you would absolutely want in a highlighter. I do know they offer this in some other shades as well, so check it out. I'm just building up the intensity here, but even if I swatch it like with my hands, you can see it is very, very fine, nothing chunky, nothing powdery. And I feel like these are the highlighters now that I gravitate towards the most. I only have one lip liner favorite to share with you, simply because this is a lip liner that I was reaching for a ton all throughout 2021. And it is this one right here by Milani. If you have not tried this out, I just want to know what you're waiting for. This is the Understatement lip liner in the shade Saucy Toffee. This is the prettiest mid-tone brown. This is such an affordable lip liner that goes with almost any and every nude lip color, in my personal opinion. I love this brown nude. I love to line my lips with it and fill it in completely. I also really like the formula. It's not over drying or anything like that. It glides on the lips very nicely, and it looks, again, perfect with almost any nude lip color. So I know someone's been staring at my lip color this entire video, so I'm just gonna knock out the lip combo. I'm wearing the Milani Understatement lip liner in the shade Saucy Toffee, paired with this lipstick here by Makeup by Mario. This is in the shade Sierra, and this is one of the brand new ultra suede lipsticks. When I first saw it, I'm like, okay, matte lipstick line, but it is actually a suede lipstick. It looks so soft and velvety on the skin. It doesn't seep into any fine lines or anything like that. It's also a very long wearing formula, believe it or not. I've been wearing this on my lips for quite some time, and it's still going strong. I've been drinking so much water. It's probably like my 4th bottle of water since sitting down to film, and it looks so good. I also love that it gives off more of like a matte look, but it's not overly drying on the lips. It's very lightweight, it's comfortable, and I really just think he hit it out of the park with this formula. Another formula that I really like when I want more of like a matte look is this right here by NYX. This is the Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Abu Dhabi. This is such like a throwback color for me. I probably have 3 of these laying around. Most of the time they're just like hidden in my purse because I just pop them on when I want something like just nice, just nude. This is definitely more of like a pinky nude, and I do love pairing this with that Milani Saucy Toffee lip liner. I'm telling you, Milani Saucy Toffee just goes with pretty much everything. This is very comfortable on the lips. It does dry down to more of like a matte formula, but going on, it's very creamy. It's very easy on the lips. It's not drying. Now, I know I just talked about like 2 semi-matte formulas, but we're gonna get into a formula that is very, very pretty, very shiny on the lips, but not like overly shiny. And I'm talking about this right here by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the lipstick by Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Nude Kate. When I discovered this last year, I fell out my chair. I'm telling you, do not walk, run to Charlotte Tilbury's website, because this is the prettiest kind of like peachy nude I have ever seen. I did wear this to my maternity shoot, and it's so timeless. It's so pretty. It pairs really, really well with Saucy Toffee by Milani. And look at that. If you want to add like instant shine to your lips, but get that like really pretty like nude lip feel, definitely go with Nude Kate, because it is my top favorite. So for setting spray, I feel like you guys are gonna think I'm cheating a little bit. I kind of am, because I discovered this like at the very end of December, and I'm talking about the Milk Hydro Grip Set and Refresh Spray. When I tell you this changed the game for me completely, it really changed the wear of my makeup. I don't know what it was, but like towards the very end of the year, my makeup started to do like something really funky. I felt like every night towards the end of the night, my makeup was just like everywhere. Like everything was like moving everywhere. But when I started using this, everything was just like intact, in place. Like this is such a long wearing setting spray that I'm high key obsessed with. I'm telling you, it changed the game for me, and it's a staple. So let's talk about skincare really quickly. I tried out a ton of different skincare products last year because my skin was feeling its best, but also I was pregnant, so I wasn't really trying out things that were very harsh on the skin. I tried to stay away from like AHAs and BHAs and all of that stuff, retinols. I didn't really do any of that. I tried to stick to fairly clean formulas, like this one right here by Summer Fridays. This is a clean at Sephora product. This is probably my favorite daytime moisturizer. This here is the Cloud Dew oil-free gel cream, and this is my second jar of this, and you can see, you know, I'm hitting it pretty hard right now. What I love most about it is that it's extremely lightweight on the skin, so I like to use this during the day, and when I put it on, my skin instantly feels hydrated. But not only that, it feels and looks very nice and plump. I also find that this doesn't interfere with my makeup application. It's oil-free, so if you have acne-prone skin, I think you will actually really, really like this moisturizer. So one of my number one questions when I was clearing up my acne and getting rid of my acne scarring is what product I was using to clear up my hyperpigmentation and acne scarring. And I have to give big props to Desi Gladocracy Vitamin C Serum. This really changed the game for me completely. It really helped diminish the appearance of my acne scarring. Vitamin C works amazing for that, but this Vitamin C Serum, I love it because it's not overly sticky. Anytime I think of vitamin C serums, I think of products that are a little too tacky and sticky on the skin, so I can't really stand to wear them. When I tried this out, I was amazed by how silky and smooth it felt on the skin. And it also provided my skin with insane glow. So anytime I put it on, my skin was looking and feeling its best. So I feel like 2021 was a year that I really took hair care products very seriously. I always wondered why my hair just didn't look its best, and it really has a lot to do with the products, one, you're washing your hair with, but not only that, the products you're using to style your hair. So I have to give huge props to this right here by Color Wow. This is a Dream Coat Supernatural Spray. On the bottle, it literally says magically transforms texture, amazing humidity proofing powers. And when I saw that, I was instantly sold. So pretty much you wash your hair, you spritz this into your hair, and you style it with heat as usual. This is activated by heat, so you have to apply it when your hair is damp. You blow dry it, straighten it, whatever, but this truly does transform the texture of my hair. I used to have a serious problem with styling my hair and then going outside in Florida humidity. It would kind of like poof up, curl up, especially here in this area because I do have naturally curly hair. But once I started using this, I found that my hair didn't get frizzy or anything like that, and I was really able to lock in styles a lot longer. So I'm almost out of this. I already have a backup in my collection because that's how much I love it. Let's talk about a leave-in hair mask that really transformed my hair. And I'm talking about the K18 leave-in molecular repair hair mask. I've been using this for the past like 4 months, long before it was hyped up all over TikTok. And it truly is incredible. You're supposed to shampoo your hair as usual, skip conditioner, but then apply this. When I did that for the first night, I was so shocked because I shampooed my hair, skipped conditioner, put this in, but then I kind of walked away. I was doing stuff around the house. And when I looked in the mirror again, I kid you not, my natural curls were just like spiraling. And I'm just like, what in the world is happening? Because this never really happens. I think that this could possibly bring my curls back, but not only that, once I blew out my hair, it was so incredibly soft. It didn't look dry. My ends look very, very nice and tamed. And this is something I've been keeping up with that I really, really like. I almost love it more than my Olaplex, which it's saying a lot, okay? Last but not least is a hair oil, and this one is by Olaplex. You can tell I love it because I have like that much left. This is the number 7 bonding oil. I haven't applied any to my hair because I want to show you how pretty this looks in my hair. I just apply it to my ends, and then whatever I have left over, I will just take it like on the front of my hair, like my bang area. So I'll just like take it through here, and it gives my hair the prettiest amount of shine. This is a hair oil that doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't weigh my hair down. It's such a beautiful and lightweight oil that provides high shine to your hair. That is pretty much it for my best of beauty favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me talk about some of my top of the top, cream of the crop, peanut butter to my jelly products. If you guys have any staples or favorites that you were absolutely loving throughout 2021, I'd love to know down below. Share your recommendations with the rest of us. I love checking out some of your favorites. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me over on Instagram. Like I said, I'm like pregnant. I'm very much pregnant. I'm 34 weeks pregnant, so if you guys want to keep up with me and baby boy and when he'll be here, I feel like Instagram is the easiest way to do it. My handle is @makeup by Marie, so give me a follow over there. And with that being said, I don't have much else to say except I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Like, subscribe, notifications, all that, and I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.
1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, yeah. Immature lover who don't use big words, yeah.